Let's talk about the energy shift, the state of the world. The world is transforming. This is a time of incredible change and transformation. And this is also a time for humanity's consciousness to be uplifted and expanded, for us to exponentially grow into something that humanity has probably never experienced before, at least not in this way. This time is the time that we know of as the shift, some people will say, to new earth, from 3D to 5D, from the place where we have been to the place where we get to experience greater aspects of ourselves, greater aspects of being, greater connectedness, greater connection to our spiritual path, greater connection to each other and the earth herself and animals and all that the earth brings us. This is a powerful, exciting time that, for the sake of clarification, I'm just going to call right now the shift. So welcome to Understanding the Shift. I'm Waxéla Sananda. Thank you for joining me today. There are a lot of different factors that have an impact and an effect on the Earth right now. Some of those things are shifting of the Earth's electromagnetic field. There are shifts in the alignment of celestial bodies. There is an influx of high frequency energy, which we also perceive as light, coming into our planet now from the cosmos. And this has an impact on our physical bodies, our mental bodies, our emotional bodies, our spiritual bodies, and of course, it has an effect on the collective of humanity, the collective consciousness, and the collective physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual experience of humanity at this time. This is the time of ascension. This is what so many of us are here for specifically. We got the call. Star seeds, you know who you are. And if you don't, maybe you're just figuring out that you are a star seed who answered a cosmic call to come and assist with this process. And particularly for me, it's to assist humanity at this time in this process of ascension, which is the awakening of the collective. So part of that is that humanity is waking up at such a rapid rate. People are waking up to their true nature as spiritual beings. They're becoming aware of the world around them. And there's so many elements to this. Some of it is becoming aware of, oh, there's so much more going on globally in the governmental system. And there are these elements of freedom that I choose to engage and step into and claim and even fight for in many cases. This is causing such a transformation in, as people are waking up and standing for our rights, there are more people waking up, and the government is shifting and attempting to change and keep up with what the people are demanding and claiming in our sovereignty. This is an exciting experience. Of course, there are all elements of this. Spiritually, people are having these awakening experiences. Some people will talk about Kundalini experiences or activations, or just these spiritual awakenings where suddenly they know so much more of who they are and where they came from. It might be a connection to the galactic family or past lives on Earth, or any number of things, connection to guides, connections to ascended masters in the angelic realm. It goes on and on and on. And there are many ways this can show up and many ways it can happen. Sometimes it's completely spontaneous. Sometimes it happens through energy work, sometimes through a meditation, sometimes through a retreat experience, such as the one that I just facilitated in Fort Myers at the Florida Pyramids. And more about that later. But these awakenings are happening to so many people right now. And it's exciting for me, I've been awake for 30 plus years now. I've been waiting for this time, and it's just so fun to watch it happening. I've seen visions of this. I've known this was coming, and just to watch it happening now is really exciting and really fun. And along with that, there are some things, it's a wild ride. The ascension journey is not one that is just a smooth, easy, like, oh, now we're in 5D. No, it doesn't really happen like that for most people. It is a time where your old stuff and your old ways of being are going to need to be purged and changed. And we're being asked to clear densities from the body. You know, I teach embodied ascension. So this is all part of that, clearing the energy from the body so that we can move past it, move beyond what we used to be, let the body upgrade, step into our crystalline blueprint, which is activating with the new light and the new energy that is coming onto the planet, with the upliftment of the biofield of the planet. Of course, we as humanity and the animals and everything here are also shifting and changing. Our fields are changing, whether we know it or not, or whether we like it or not, it's happening. So let's have fun with it. And, you know, part of that is the shadow work, getting deep, going within, allowing ourselves to confront and look at and be present with the stuff that we haven't wanted to look at before, the things that have been uncomfortable. This is a time to pull up the rug and look under it and really get clear and willing to do that hard work of, okay, there are things about me that have been, that I've been carrying along that I'm ready to let go of. I'm ready to transform. I'm ready to uplift myself. I'm ready to move into this higher frequency state of being so that I can really start to enjoy the benefits of the ascension, enjoy the benefits of being here at this time. And as we do more and more and more of that work, guess what happens? Then you start to step into serving others with your frequency, with your new frequency, serving others with your new realizations and words and ways of being that become naturally uplifting to others in humanity. We activate each other. So my intention with this video and with all of the videos I do is to activate you, to cause some sort of resonance so that some part of you says, oh yeah, that's me. I get to have this activation and move up my frequency. And then as you do that, it's the domino effect. So does someone else and someone else and someone else. And we do this for each other. It's also a great time to notice your mental state and what kind of thoughts are you rehearsing? What kind of thoughts are you allowing in your mind? A lot of this requires elimination of some of the stuff that you might have been watching. I talk about this a lot. If you're immersing yourself in negative broadcasts of any kind, whether it be the news or online or on YouTube or anywhere else, if it's conspiracy theory, if it's, you know, the them against us in all of its many, many forms, it can be political, it can be religious, it can be in lots of different forms. But to notice, where am I engaging in the us against them? And you can shift that now more easily than ever before into the mindset that this is all happening for me. This is all happening for me. This is all happening in order to assist me on my journey of ascension. Everything that I'm experiencing in the outer world is a projection of what is within so that I might see who I am reflected out there in the world. And if there are things that aren't working, that are disharmonious, that are not of my liking, then I get to look at myself and say, where am I harboring that? Where is that being created from in my being? And then take the action to make those shifts internally and also externally. And those internal shifts will have an effect on your external world because this is an encoded matrix that we live in. And that is how it is coded, that who we are being and the energy that we hold affects the outside world as if it was independent of us. However, it's not. it is dependent on us to hold those thought forms in order to be projected to us. And I know if this is new for you, these are big concepts. I talk about this kind of stuff a lot. So you can always go back in my videos and listen and learn more. And then there are many teachers who talk about this. Neville Goddard is one of my favorites. Wallace Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich, is a great little book to read multiple times because it's all about who we're being and being a catalyst of change and upgrade in the world. This is the time of ascension. There's a lot of work to do internally and externally and frequency in our frequency being. And it's fun too, it's okay if you're not having fun with it. We all have our dips, right? And then with all of these changes that are going on the planet and new energies coming in and these shifts in consciousness, sometimes we can get really fatigued. The physical body is being changed and impacted with the celestial frequencies that are coming in and the light and the information. It can sometimes cause sort of this feeling of overload, which can feel like fatigue, can feel like burnout, it can feel like overwhelm, it can feel like anxiety. And I'm not saying that if you're not having that, you're not okay, because by all means, the idea is to raise your frequency to the point where that's not bothering you. That's not part of what your daily experience is. But if you are experiencing that, it's okay. It's okay. It's part of the upgrade. It's part of us as these physical beings with our spirit inside of us expanding and becoming enhanced and ascending in our body, embodied ascension, that we're going to have some physical responses to that. As I said, I just got back from this. I moved first, beginning of this month, and then I facilitated the Florida Pyramids retreat in Fort Myers last week. It was fantastic and amazing, and spiritual upgrades were happening all around. And I got home and I was just wiped out. I was so tired. All I wanted to do was lay in bed. And I did get up and I sun gazed and I enjoyed, went paddleboarding, went to the beach, enjoyed the Florida sun and all those things. But my body was like, oh, I just want to rest. So I took 2 days kind of downtime where I didn't do any work. I just did what I wanted to do and enjoyed just being and not having to do and produce. Sometimes that's necessary for integration, to not make yourself produce, just to take some downtime. And if you're like me, you might be someone who really likes productivity. I have a core value of productivity. And so sometimes it's necessary to take a break from that, to come back and just get centered, take some me time, take some self-care time, enjoy, integrate, allow, surrender to the transformations that are happening. And then when you're feeling good again, when you're feeling integrated, when you're like, okay, thank you, I needed that break, then you get that inspiration to be productive again, then you jump back in. So you might have also noticed I didn't release a video or send out any emails last week because I was immersed in the Pyramids retreat. Some part of me thought, oh yeah, I'll have time to do that. I didn't have time to do that without really, I would have added a lot of extra stress to my schedule. And I decided, okay, I'm not going to push myself in that way, because what's needed is my presence at this retreat, to be a facilitator, to be present with the people, to be present with the ascension processes and the breath work and the meditations and transformations that were happening. I didn't have time to do those other things, and I gave myself space for that. We can't always do it all. Okay. And it's okay to sometimes take a break from one thing in order to do another thing, and to sometimes request assistance and help so that we can do the things that we need to do. And so I give myself space for that much more generously now than I used to in the past, because I choose to stay in a state of peace and harmony and balance, to not get anxious or overwhelmed or feel at effect of the things that are going on around me. I choose to be at cause of my life. I choose to be at cause of my experience. And when my experience is reflecting something back to me that's disharmonious, I also get to be at cause of the creation of alignment and balance of those things. And I'm not saying nothing ever comes at me. It certainly does. I have my life coming at me just like you do. And it's how I am being about it. Who am I being? How am I being? Who are you being in your life? How are you being in your life? What is your response to the things that seemingly come at you in disharmony? Because if you can get to the point where, like, okay, this is me. I created this for some reason. My soul's choosing this for myself. My consciousness is choosing to upgrade from this experience. How am I going to be? What is my response? Who do I get to be in this experience? And that's when things start to be clear and balance out and become harmonious again. And we all have the ability to do that. It does take practice, and it does take consciousness, and it does take alignment and balance. And then you have this transformation experience. And so there is this natural purification that's happening. We are cleansing on so many multidimensional levels of being, and it shows up, the life shows up to show us that this is going on. And ultimately, we are stepping into these new versions of ourselves. It's so exciting. The crystalline blueprint that we all have is being activated as the crystalline blueprint of planet Earth is activating. We are experiencing that. So if you're resisting it or pushing against it, it's going to be harder for you. So this is your opportunity to get in alignment with it. If you're having spiritual awakenings, if you're having consciousness expansion, yay, good for you. Embrace it. Get excited about it. If you're tired and fatigued, that's okay. You just need some downtime. Maybe you need, some of the things that I do to mitigate that, to help me stay in balance. Cranial sacral therapy. I work with Alkiwan. I've got one behind my shoulder there. That's very balancing and aligning. I work with it every single day, and it's so powerful. I also go for Oriental medicine, for acupuncture, for massage. I eat good food and do cleansing protocols. We did a 3-day juice fast at the Florida Pyramids retreat too, which was very cleansing and clearing. And we didn't even miss eating food because we were so full of light energy. So some of the things you can do for grounding and for really getting on board and aligned. Daily sun gazing as the sun rises, or as close to the sunrise as you can. Go out and be in the sun, whether you can gaze right at it or around it. Be in the morning sunlight, be in the sunset sunlight as well. It's very balancing for you. And then be in nature as much as possible. Step outside. If you're working on a computer, take outdoor breaks where you can go outside, be on the land, go barefoot, hug a tree. I know it sounds cheesy, but it works. You get a burst of energy from hugging a tree. Go look at flowers, plant flowers, do some gardening, grow a garden, grow plants. Even if you don't have space for that or have land, you can get containers and plant in containers. I know my daughter lives in Austin, Texas, in an apartment. She doesn't have land to grow garden, but she has an indoor gardening system where she can have her little plants growing and grow herbs and lettuce and things like that. And it brings joy. And then she gets to eat those things too. And she's nurturing. So what my point being is, even if you have a very small space, you can still grow things. And if you don't have room for a garden, do some flower boxes or some herb boxes. You can always do something that will tune you in to the earth energies. And as you're nurturing these beautiful beings, the plant people that you're growing with your energy and you're putting your love and attention into, you're interacting with the earth. You're aligning and attuning to the earth. And as I said, get outside as much as you can, swim in natural waters and be in the sun, soak that information up. The sun is a field of information ready to give you all of the ascension frequencies that help you upgrade during this time. So interact with it. So is the earth. So are the waters interacting with you and expanding you and opening. If you can go for a float in the water, that's a beautiful thing to do. Letting the water caress you and hold you as you're interacting with the sun above and the water below and just soaking up those frequencies. One of my favorite things to do is go float in the ocean, and it just feels so good to do that. So whatever it is, get outside. It's springtime for a lot of the world. If you're in a place where you can be outside comfortably, get out there as much as you can, and let those energies and those gnosis, your inner knowings, just let them gently unfold and expand. Tune into your heart, tune into gratitude for your life and for what's going on. All of these things will help you balance the spiritual and light energies that are coming in right now and help you ascend, meaning bring up your consciousness, bring up your physical wellness, your physical strength, your body. Help your body by getting exercise and enjoying nature. I go paddleboarding regularly. It's one of my favorite things. I'm on the water, I'm getting exercise, I'm getting learning balance. You got to be able to balance when those waves come by, and it feels really good. Plus I go out in the mangroves and it's just so beautiful, all the birds and the fish and the fun things to see out there. So whatever that is, wherever you are, there's some place you can go to find some nature. If you're in a city, big city, yeah, you might have to go find a park or drive out of town, but I encourage you to do that more and more and more, because that is going to help you balance these energies as they come in. And the solar flares, which I did a previous video about, really pay attention to how much time you are sitting in front of a computer. It's funny because I'm sitting in front of a computer right now as I say this, but balance that out. Don't spend all of your time in front of the computer. And if you do, take frequent breaks, get outside, get exercise, eat good food, drink lots of extra water. Right now, drinking lots of extra clean water is one of the best things you can do to help your body flush. All these new energies coming in. Be hydrated and stay hydrated. It's very important. So, of course, I absolutely love meditation, and meditation is something that you can really attune yourself with. I have a number of meditations on my channel. So there are plenty of free ones from me. There are plenty of free meditations all over the internet. I mean, so many great people offering meditations. These are guided meditations. You can also simply listen to music and meditate. Or if you are a more advanced meditator, you can sit in silence and meditate. And that does require a level of mindfulness where you're able to tune your thoughts out, or tune out of your rambling thoughts. If you have that mind chatter going on, we call it monkey mind. But even if you start with 1 minute a day and do that, you will gradually increase your ability to tune out those thoughts. And I know for a lot of people that's very difficult. That's why I offer guided meditations, and why so many guided meditations are out there, which can be very, very helpful. So, try both, try various ways. Another wonderful way to meditate is to go into nature and find a private place and just tune into the earth. Listen with intentional listening, where if there's water near you, you're listening to the sounds of the water, you're listening to the birds and the bird calls, and if there are animals around you, or if the wind is blowing, you're listening to the grasses. You're just listening to all of the sounds of nature. This is very relaxing and integrating. And then instead of just total silence, you have something to focus on, which is the sound that you're hearing with your eyes closed. So whatever it is that you do, mindfulness, bring more mindfulness and intention into everything that you do. If you're cooking, bringing gratitude in, bringing love into that food as you're cooking, rather than rush, 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 trying to get it done in time for the family to eat or whoever is coming, or even for yourself so you can get to the next thing. Bring mindfulness into all of the daily tasks. If you're vacuuming or cleaning or doing laundry or whatever it is that you do around the house, or, whatever you do throughout the day, you can bring a new level of mindfulness, bring gratitude, bring love into it, bring your heart into your daily life. This alone is an incredible process for ascension and for raising your frequency, for raising your awareness, and beautiful mindfulness practice. Gratitude is always valuable and uplifting. Also, finding a community of spiritual people. It's so important, even if it's just one friend that you can talk to about your experience, your spiritual experience, someone that you can talk to about your ascension process. It's even better if you can find a group of people, and many places have groups, spiritual groups that get together. You might have a spiritual center where you can go and find a group of people that are doing this. Or maybe it's your circle of friends, and maybe you have one or two or three friends that are interested in their ascension and interested in their spirituality and awakening. So create some time to get together. Maybe your friends are living in different cities or different countries. Have a Zoom call, but put it on the calendar. And if you can make it regular, even better. If you can meet weekly or every other week or monthly, to have a circle of people that you can share your journey with and listen to their journey. It will help you upgrade. It will help you align. And we all benefit from each other. Going to spiritual retreats is an incredible way to do this. And then to continue that experience. Sometimes you'll meet people at these retreats that you can keep interacting with and keep growing together. And these are all ways to integrate what we're learning and upgrade with a support system. It's so, so, so helpful to have a support system. Get on my email list if you're not already. I have a free email list. I send out all kinds of different things: Tuesday video, a Friday podcast, and then oftentimes other things in between. So I invite you to do that. The link is in the show notes. There are so many people waking up that are like-minded, that are ready to do this ascension journey, and we are waking up and activating each other. So thank you for playing the part that you play, your own unique role in this journey. And like I said, my purpose here, my mission is to support you on your spiritual journey. I love to watch people's transformations. And so I have designed all of my work around assisting the human collective and the human individuals in upgrading. I am offering, for a very short time, 3-month mentorships right now. I also offer one-on-one sessions, but to get the most out of your sessions, a 3-month mentorship is a really powerful way to do that. Again, I'll have the link in the description if you want to check that out. If you want to join me, I don't usually do that. I usually offer 6-month or 12-month, and only after you've been in my embodied ascension training, which is a 6-month experience. But I do realize from the feedback I've been getting, a lot of people are sort of on a fast track, or they've had an awakening and they don't necessarily know how to integrate it, or they're feeling all of these things and their bodies are fatigued and they want to know how to energetically get to the next level. And a lot of people want to step into their purpose more fully, and they want to be able to serve in a purposeful way. And so my mentorships are designed uniquely around what do you need right now, what's going to be of the highest service, and then to help you get there through that regular meetings one-on-one. So look in the show notes if that's interesting to you. You can hire me for a 3-month or longer mentorship. You can also get into Embodied Ascension Training, my 6-month course, which will teach you how to upgrade your frequency, how to align and balance all of the cosmic influences, and then ultimately stepping into galactic shamanism, communicating with your galactic guides, and really opening up your heart to be able to channel your divine self more and more and more. And so I'm just happy to do this with you at whatever level, whether you're just consuming my videos and my free content, or whether you jump into my container and embodied ascension training or one-on-one mentorship. Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. Please do hit the like if this is helpful to you. That helps other people find this video. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification button if you want to be notified every time I put out a video. And please do check out all of the links that I've included in the show notes. Join my email list, and I'd love to see more of you. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the show comments too. What would you like to see more of from me? What would you like to hear more about from me? And I will be updating my website regularly with upcoming retreats. I have some more really exciting, fun stuff coming up, so be sure to check that out as well. I love having you in my circle. I appreciate you, and I am here for you. So thank you for joining me today. I will end there on the note that I'm grateful for you. I love you. I cherish you. Namaste.